Hello everybody, welcome to a new video. So there's been a whole lot of Angus going around lately, and that's awesome. As you may know, Angus Young is one of the founding guitar players of the legendary band AC/DC, and they just came out with an album called Power Up. I refuse to listen to it because I still don't own it. I've actually been on a CD buying frenzy lately, and I'm actually using a hashtag on Instagram a lot that pretty much sums up how I feel about MP3s. And you'll see the hashtag down here in a second. But yeah, as you can see, I'm going to wait. But yeah, once I do get the CD or the vinyl, I am going to do a full-on review on it. Anyway, so Angus Young has been promoting the album everywhere, and he's been doing a lot more interviews than ever. In fact, I don't remember him doing a lot of interviews before. So it really gave the fans a chance to find out more about the band and the dude himself. So I've actually been catching up with a lot of his interviews, and there have been a lot of very interesting questions and a lot of really interesting answers that I want to share with you guys. But before we get to that, don't forget to destroy that like button, drop me a comment in the comment section down below, and let me know what's your favorite AC/DC song and your favorite AC/DC album. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to this channel like a man if you haven't yet. And also, if you really enjoy the content and you want to further support the channel, you can now actually become a member of the channel by clicking on the join button there. You'll get 4 different options with different perks that you can choose from. First of all, obviously I want to point out that the album was actually dedicated to the memory of Malcolm Young, who was Angus's brother and co-founder of the band, and sadly passed away. But yeah, there were 2 very interesting questions that they asked and that he actually answered that got me really excited and surprised by the answers. So here we go. The first question was, Angus, what is your all-time AC/DC favorite album? To which he replied, I'm a little bit biased because I was actually featured on all of the albums. So it's really hard for me to say. But he said there's one album that defines the band's sound, and that album is Let There Be Rock. And I gotta tell you, I can see why he chose this album. This album came out in 1977, and it sounds very raw, very rock and roll. Apparently, when Malcolm and Angus got together to start writing the album, they actually got together with George Young, who was actually the band's producer. Talk about a family business. And he asked them, what do you guys really want to do? What is the album about? And Malcolm said, we just want to make some guitar-driven rock and roll. And they sure did. I mean, look at this track list. Go Down, Dog Eat Dog, Let There Be Rock, Bad Boy Boogie, Problem Child, Overdose, Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be, and Whole Lotta Rosie. This is a kick-ass album. There's a couple of songs that I don't really like that much, like the opening track in Bad Boy Boogie. But Dog Eat Dog is a great song. Let There Be Rock is a great song, very fast, and the video clip for that is hilarious. And of course, Whole Lotta Rosie is one of my all-time favorite from AC/DC with Bon Scott. So yeah, great album, great sound. I can definitely agree with Angus. Now, I'm not saying it's the best album, but it definitely defined AC/DC's path and sound from then on. They also asked Angus, what is your favorite AC/DC song? And he answered, if I have to answer from a guitarist point of view, Riff Raff is a really good song. And I agree, it's a pretty kick-ass song. But he also said, but if I have to choose a song based on the song itself as a whole, Thunderstruck is a big song. And I definitely agree with him. That song really stands out. We all know that hammer on and pull off guitar intro. And it's so fun to play too. Now personally, I actually like the intro better than the rest of the song, but that's just me. We're not talking about me. Not yet anyway. And there was a third question that was really funny and very interesting. Check this one out. They asked him, Angus, what is your least favorite song? And he actually had an easier time pointing this out than what was his favorite song. And the interesting thing about the, and I quote, most regrettable song, end quote, is the fact that I had never even heard about it. Okay, so I don't claim to be the biggest AC/DC fan ever, but I am a pretty big AC/DC fan. In fact, I actually own most of the CDs and a lot of vinyl, and I even have a couple of their concerts on VHS cassettes still. So yeah, I'm a pretty big fan, but I had never heard of this song. And you know how when you think about a band that has never sold out and that never put out a ballad, the first band that comes to mind is AC/DC? Well, they actually did put out a ballad, right? And get a load of this. It's actually called Love Song. No! Love Song by AC/DC. Process that for a second. Okay, here's the story. Apparently, in 1975, one of the guys that worked at the record label actually convinced AC/DC to record a ballad, because apparently that's what they were playing on the radios at the time. So Bon Scott actually sat down and wrote lyrics to a ballad. It even features a piano, for God's sake. How crazy is that? And the reason why you probably never heard of this, it's because it only came out as a single in their homeland, Australia. And the funny thing is, they actually got more radio play on the B-side than on this actual track. In case you're wondering, the B-side was actually a cover of the song Baby Please Don't Go. So yeah, what a flop. No wonder Angus regrets that song. Anyway, I really thought it was a very interesting topic to share with you guys. Let me tell you what my choices are. As far as the Bon Scott years go, right now, and it actually changes a lot, this is my favorite album by them. Dirty Deeds, Done Dirt Cheap. Great album, great title. And then, as far as the Brian Johnson albums go, Back in Black is probably the easy choice. But my actually personal favorites are these two guys here. I probably like this one the most, because I remember when it came out in 1997. I was actually 11 years old back then, and that's when I first started getting an interest in music. I didn't really know any bands, and I didn't own any CDs, but I would listen to the radio and I would listen to certain songs and say, I like that, I don't like that. So I kind of knew AC/DC by the voice and the sound and their beat. And then when this puppy came out 3 years later, in the year 2000, and by then I was 13 years old, and I remember clearly watching the MTV video clips non-stop on the radio. So I have really fond memories of those two albums. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I really hope you guys found it interesting. Let me know in the comment section down below if you would like to see full-on reviews of these albums. And if you actually enjoyed the video and you want to see more videos like these. Also, don't forget to smash that like button. And of course, if this is your first time around and you haven't yet, subscribe to this channel like a man. I will see you guys next time. Pat out, metal on.